We had someone in the audience point out that their job is on the front line as an ER registered nurse, wondering what the governor can do to protect that job, given the mania for mandates that's coming down from D.C. So the question is, as governor of Minnesota, what will you do? What could your stance be regarding rather federally mandated vaccinations, mandates, and the like? I will start with Dr. Shah.
As governor, you can stand up to the Brandon administration and say, we will not permit your unconstitutional orders to have any sway in this state. You can say that we are a health freedom sanctuary state and that you have no purview over us. Now, on a technical aspect, the state has all the police powers. You would think that the federal government would know that they can't actually have a vaccine mandate, but, you know, they're not one to follow the law. So there's that. On a state battle, what can you do? The government can be a cheerleader. We can say, hey, here's this tool. Use it if you want. Here's some data. Make your own decisions. Tim Walz and the radical left are allergic to you actually making decisions about your own health. This isn't about a vaccine. This is about control. Instead, the government should be defending your individual freedoms and liberties. That's right. The first thing we did as a campaign was go to health freedom rallies all around the state. And there we found healthcare workers who had been on the front lines saving people from COVID, and they were about to be discarded. Why? Because they wanted to make their own decisions about their body. And now, what does this administration want to do? They want to push these decisions onto your kids. They want to take away your rights as parents to decide what's in your best interest. Your health decisions are no one's business but your own and your physician. And that's how it should be. And as governor, I will ensure that the government does not intrude on your rights to decide what happens to your body when it comes to your health. If you want to get the vaccine, great. Let's provide places to get vaccination. If you don't want to get it, good. You don't need to get it. Tim Walz is pushing a vaccine-only strategy that's killing people. Where are the monoclonal antibody centers all over, like you have down in Florida? Tim Walz does not want you to have control over your body. And thankfully, we have patriots in this room and in this state standing up for health freedom. Thank you.
Let's go to Mr. Marty.
My wife is an RN at a fairly large clinic in Rochester. You might guess which one. She's at risk of losing her job because she's made a choice that she doesn't want the vaccine. That's her choice. That's all of our choices. That's a basic human right. What you put in your body is your choice. But we have a governor who doesn't understand the 10th Amendment and the power that that brings. That gives him the opportunity to look Biden in the eye and say, no, we are not doing that here, and protecting the citizens of this state. They're going to enforce this through OSHA. Well, that falls under the governor's purview. As governor, I would tell everybody in the Department of OSHA, no. If you even think you're going to enforce this mandate, you will be fired. Period.
Senator Gazelka.
It's rigged. On every single coin, there's three things. In God we trust, E pluribus unum, which is out of many one, and the third one was the third reminder that we should never forget today, liberty. And so when the governor wanted a mask mandate and forced everybody to do it, you should be asking liberty. What's the deal here? And so when the president or a governor is trying to mandate the vaccines, liberty. That's why people are so angry, because what is the next thing that they would take away? This is a liberty question. Both my wife and I had COVID. We chose to be vaccinated. But to force people to be vaccinated is a huge error. And we've got to fight for it with everything we've got. I know that I would reach out to all of the other Republican governors, frankly, to see if anybody's having some impact against the president. That's one thing. You don't have to wonder what I would do, though, because as leader of the Senate, the only place there wasn't a mask mandate was in the Senate, because that was the only area that the governor didn't control and the Democrats didn't control. I led by influence, and just about everybody wore a mask But there's a big difference between influencing people to a direction versus using a big stick, which is what they're trying to do to take away our liberty. And when they do that, we must stand up.
Senator Benson.
Tim Walz doesn't understand that it's his job to stand up for the rights of the people of Minnesota. He will follow Joe Biden down every path, pulling our mining leases, vaccine mandates, you name it. If Joe Biden thinks it's a good idea, Tim Walz is going to go along with it. Environmental policies from the radical left, when the Biden administration sends down a mandate, Tim Walz will say yes. Because he doesn't know that he is supposed to stand up for you, not stand with his party. So, as governor, stand up for the people of Minnesota. File a lawsuit and say, oh, no, this is not the way this works in the state of Minnesota. We will make our public health laws. We will stand up for the medical rights of individuals. That is what you do as governor. But critically, this administration, the Biden, Brandon, administration said, we can't really do this, it's unconstitutional. And then they said, oh, let's give it a try anyway. And everybody just rolled with it in the press until some attorneys general stood up and got it stayed in the Fifth Circuit. They're going to try to get it stayed in the Sixth Circuit. So then they took another run at it through the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services and said, if you're getting money from CMS, you better do this. Oh, by the way, your nurses don't get to get tested and still work. Your nurses get to get let go. Can you imagine tying funding to the employment of nurses? What won't they do? I want you to think about that. What won't they do to your hospital, to your employment? So we need a governor who's going to stand up. We need to push back on Washington overreach and overregulation and the threat that Washington poses to the freedom of the people of this state.
Before we go to Senator Jensen, I'll just remind the Senator, if you hear the ding, that's your 30-second cue. And if you hear me thanking you profusely, that'll be 2 minutes. Anyway, the clock starts now. Same question for you, Senator Jensen.
Well, Governor Walz has a unique opportunity, so much better, because he could stop making so many bad decisions and he could start making some good decisions, but I'm not optimistic that he's going to do either. When you look at his track, the lockdowns of the nursing homes, the lockdowns of the businesses, of the nursing home patients, the lockouts of the student, the one-size-fits-all policies. If you look at the nursing home pipelining active disease into the nursing home and then wondering how this happened, if you look at the purchase of morgue buildings that never saw a cadaver, you look at modeling that he wouldn't demonstrate the presumptions, you look at the mask mandates when that didn't make sense, you look at the moving goalposts, you look literally at the epidemic of stupidity, and that's where we're at. Governor Walz should trust Minnesotans. What we can do is we can be a health freedom sanctuary state. There's no reason we can't be, because our Constitution is written in such a way that we have that option. And we should have a vaccination bill of rights within that health freedom amendment. Friends, if someone had told me that I would be called on to lead and to go against Jan Malcolm and tell her that what they're asking us to do with death certificates was wrong, and to go against Governor Walz and ask him what the modeling basis was, and even on September 9th, it gave me no great pleasure to put a video out within hours calling for benign noncompliance, or if you will, civil disobedience, to a clear overreach, unconstitutional overreach on the part of our president. We're seeing the consequences filter through the courts now. Never have we seen something like this before. Governor Walz has dropped the ball. As your governor, I would lead. Leading isn't easy.
I don't want to do this.
Thank you very much, Senator. Let's go to
Hey, Doc, you should use the timer on your phone.
Mayor Murphy.
No, it's incredibly difficult. Great minds think alike.
Have a round of applause.
Never in my life did I ever think that we would be here as a nation. My God, government pushing vaccines upon our children, coercing our children with $200 gift cards, $100,000 scholarship programs, you name it. I mean, it's a joke. I just can't believe it. That's why, as mayor, next week I'm introducing a resolution in my city, making my city a health sanctuary city, banning all vaccine mandates in passports in the city of Lexington. And I'm also working with 4 other mayors and the county commissioner in Anoka County to introduce that into the entire county of Anoka County to ban that. We're going to stand up, and as governor, I'm not going to tolerate it. I don't care what Brandon and Kathleen Conlow want to do to me in our state. We're going to fight back. Health freedom is important. Those decisions are made between you, your doctor, and your God, not your government. Nobody should be telling you what to put in your body, when to put it in your body. That is your choice. I mean, that is free will. And having the government mandate those types of things upon us is taking our civil liberties, our rights, our God-given rights away from us. And that, I cannot tolerate that. If you want to get the vaccine, that's your choice. I support it. But at the end of the day, we all know people are getting sick and dying who are vaccinated. So do vaccines really work? I'm not an expert in this field, but I can read the facts and I can see the writing on the wall that our government should not be mandating these types of policies, these types of medicines upon its people. It should be focusing on better things like making insulin cheaper and free, things that really matter. Not making big pharma rich, making more pharma billionaires, making more doctors rich, more organizations rich. This has literally been a scamdemic to the tune of trillions of dollars upon the American people, and it has to come to an end.